Welcome to the Coach's Corner. Today we're taking a look at Stage 3, Topic 8, Post-Sale Experience Design. The Here's What to Expect framework. Client anxiety peaks right after they buy, not before, not during the sales call, right after they pay you. That's when excitement starts to fade and the second guessing begins. Most businesses celebrate the close and move on. They disappear into delivery mode. And that silence costs them more clients than bad work ever will. This session is about designing what happens after the yes, not the service itself, the experience of receiving it. There's a framework for it, and it works. Let's get into it. The confidence window. I want you to see this visually before we go any further. When a client says yes, their anxiety is actually low. They're excited. They made a decision. They feel good. Then day one and day two arrive. And if they hear nothing, the anxiety spikes. This is the peak. This is when Maya, a story I'll share in a moment, told her friend, I think I messed up. Not because anything went wrong, because nothing was communicated. After a first win in week one, anxiety starts dropping. The day 15 check in settles it further. By day 30, if you've done it right, they feel confident. Not because you delivered something spectacular, but because they felt guided the whole way. I call the period between day 1 and day 30 the confidence window. It's your highest leverage moment. Miss it, and you'll spend the rest of the project earning back trust you never should have lost. Use it, and you'll build a relationship that extends far past that first engagement. Here's what we're covering. We start with the trap. What happens when the post sale experience is ignored? Then we move on to the confidence window in detail. Then the here's what to expect framework, the three elements that replace anxiety with structure. Then the four-stage onboarding map, how to design early wins that actually matter, and why confidence consistently outperforms promises. Then we'll move on to the summary and four moves to close this out. Let's go. Let's talk about the trap, ignoring the post sale experience. Let me tell you about Maya. Maya hired a coach for $900. That's real money for her, the equivalent of a weekend trip for her family. Right after she paid, she heard nothing for 2 days. No welcome, no next steps, no confirmation that anything was happening. She started to panic. She told her friend, I think I messed up. When the coach finally reached out, the relationship was already damaged. Maya no longer felt safe. The work they did together never recovered, not because the coaching was bad, but because the silence had already done its damage. Maya's story plays out in business every day, not dramatically, quietly. Clients who seemed excited go cold. Projects that should have led to referrals end without a review. Relationships that could have renewed just stop. Here's what the trap looks like in practice. Businesses pour everything into the closing. The pitch is polished. The proposal is professional. But the experience after the yes is an afterthought. Communication drops at the exact moment clients need it most. And the silence gives buyers remorse a place to grow. You lose trust not because you failed, but because you vanished. The Here's What to Expect framework. The Here's What to Expect framework is built on one principle. Every message you send in the first 30 days replaces anxiety with confidence. It has three elements. Timeline. Here's what happens first. This isn't about sending a detailed project plan. It's about sending enough to show there is a plan. Clients don't need a roadmap. They need to know the next step. That's all. Milestones. Here's what you'll see next. Name the visible markers of progress. What will they observe at week 1? What will feel different by day 15? Progress that they can see is progress that they can believe in. If they can't see it, they wonder if anything is actually happening. Rhythm. Here's when we'll check in. Commit to a cadence before they have to ask. This is the single move that eliminates more client anxiety than anything else. Knowing when they'll hear from you next removes the most persistent source of post sale doubt. The 4-stage onboarding map. Let's make this concrete. 4 stages, each one has a single job. Stage 1, the first 24 hours. Light the path. Send a warm welcome, not a form, not a contract reminder, a message that says you made a smart move. Here's what happens next. And here's who you'll be hearing from. That's it. Fast, warm, and human. This is the move that eliminates buyer's remorse before it can take root. Stage 2, week 1, the first win. Deliver one small, visible result, a setup that's complete, a quick insight specific to their situation, a first deliverable, even a preliminary one. Keep it simple, keep it visible, and name what it means. This proves the system is working. Confidence grows when clients see progress early, not when they're told it's happening. Stage 3, day 15, the midpoint check in. Send a short message or schedule a short call. Ask 2 questions: what's clear and what still feels fuzzy? Then adjust immediately where confusion lingers. The biggest mistake in client relationships don't start as big mistakes. They start as small misalignments that no one caught at day 15 or early in the process. Stage 4, day 30, the month end review. Summarize the wins, acknowledge what you learned, preview what phase 2 focuses on, and reinforce. You're on the right track. This message closes the first chapter with clarity and opens the next one with confidence. Clients who reach day 30 feeling guided almost always continue. Designing early wins. Let me spend a moment on week 1 win. Let me spend a moment on the week 1 win because it's the most underestimated lever in this whole framework. An early win isn't about doing your best work in week 1. It's about giving clients something that they can point to as proof that their money is working. What counts as a win? A setup or a system that's now live, a deliverable, even preliminary, a quick insight they wouldn't have had without you, a problem named and clearly diagnosed, something they couldn't have seen working without you. Notice what all of these have in common. They're visible. Clients trust what they can see. If progress is happening, but it isn't visible, this might as well not be happening from where they're sitting. How you deliver it matters just as much. Keep it simple. Week 1 is not the time to overwhelm. Name what the win means. This proves their approach is working. Make it specific to them, not a generic update. And here's the underused move: reference it later. Point back to it as an early win at day 15, at day 30. It anchors the relationship in concrete proof. Why confidence beats promises. Here's the principle that underlies everything in this session. Promises start relationships. Process keeps them. Confidence extends them. Think about the chain. Calm comes first. When you replace anxiety with structure, Clients can actually receive your work. Calm creates confidence. Confidence leads to retention. Retention generates referrals. But it all starts with calm, and calm comes from knowing what to expect. Three things I want you to take from this. First, you don't need a wow client in week one. You need to reassure them. Spectacle is forgettable. Structure is trustworthy. The second, when clients know what's coming, doubt stops. Uncertainty is the soil that buyer's remorse grows in. Remove the uncertainty and you remove most of the anxiety. That's not magic, it's just communication. The third, the first 30 days decide what the next 300 look like. A client who feels guided in the first month stays. A client who feels forgotten in the first 2 days rarely fully recovers, even if the work ends up being excellent. Design the experience, not just the service. Summary: the post sale experience designed in plain terms. 1. Client anxiety peaks right after the sale, and silence only makes it worse. 2 days after the payment is the most fragile window in any client relationship. Fast, warm communication, that's your single most powerful tool. 2. Onboarding is reassurance, not paperwork. Clients don't need 10 tasks in week one. They need to know what happens next, when it happens, and that there's someone with a steady plan. 3. The four-stage map. Light the path, first win, midpoint check-in, month-end review. Each stage eliminates one specific anxiety. Run all four, and clients arrive at day 30 feeling guided. 4. Confidence built early is the foundation for everything that follows. The first 30 days decide the next 300. Design the experience, not just the service, and the clients stay, they refer, and trust you for longer than any individual project. 4 moves for this week. Move 1. Write your welcome message today, not eventually, today. Draft the exact message you'll send within 24 hours of every new client from this point forward. It should include what happens this week, who they'll hear from, and one sentence that reaffirms their decision. Move 2. Define your week 1 win for each of your services. What is this one visible result you can deliver in the first 7 days? Name it specifically. Schedule it. Make it part of your standard process, not something you improvise depending on the client. Move 3. Set your check-in cadence before the next project starts. Decide right now when you'll say your day 1, your day 15, and your day 30 messages, or whatever your cadence is going to look like. But put them in a calendar before the project begins, not after problems show up, before. Move 4. Run an internal debrief on your last project. Ask yourself 3 questions. What calmed them the fastest? Where did anxiety resurface? What can I systematize next time? One honest reflection now improves every client you take on going forward. If you want to understand how your entrepreneurial type shapes the way you show up for your clients post sale, and where you might naturally be strong or naturally blind in the experience you create, the entrepreneurial type assessment gives you that clarity. The link's going to be in the description. Subscribe to the Coach's Corner for more. If you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. We build on one topic at a time, and each one connects. I'll see you next week.